Hey everyone, Ryan the Vintage Viking here, and I have an update for you on the next Whatnot show. So let's check it out. So I have a show that has been kind of being prepped for like 3 weeks or so, and it's kind of I called it the epic something show. I don't know. Epic sci-fi, epic horror, something like that. Epic sci-fi and horror combo show, whatever. This one is going to be, so a week from today, next Saturday, September 9th. And I just wanted to show you what's going to be in it, because what I did is I went on my shelves back here, and I went for some of the rare books, or the expensive books, or hard to find, or unique books that you just don't see very often, and ones that I know have value to them. So I will try to put up, as I show you some of them, maybe some of the eBay prices right here of what they're listed for right now, or what they've currently sold for, or whatever I can find. And I wanted to show you because I don't know how many of you actually sell on eBay, or how many of you are just looking to find good deals, or you know, maybe you wouldn't even buy it normally, but if you can get it for half the price you would on eBay, then you'd want it. I don't know. But I figured a lot of these, either they're duplicates of what I have, or I know that I'm not going to read them anytime soon, so might as well pass them along. So, but a lot of them are just duplicates that I already have, or I have like, for example, I have a couple of these where I'm going to do this. I have 2 copies of the same book. This one's not particularly, insanely valuable or anything, but I have 2 copies. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this one on there, and I'm saying the winner gets to choose which cover you want. So when you win this auction, then you can pick which one you want, and the other one I'm going to keep. So I have a few of those like that too, because I have lots and lots of duplicate. This is Philip Jose Farmer, The Stone God Awakens, by the way. This one's on my TBR pile. So whichever copy you choose when you win, the other copy will go in back on my TBR. Same with this one. Winner's Choice, The Cosmic Rape by Ted Sturgeon. Theodore Sturgeon. So both same thing, different versions, and you can pick what you like for winner's choice on that. I think there's 2 more winner's choices. Yeah, Dying Inside, Robert Silverberg. You can pick. I think this one's a little more rare, if I remember correctly. And then I have one more winner's choice that's right here. And there's a pre-bid on this one, but for some reason it's not showing up when I go to look at my listings. I don't know why. So it may or may not show up. It may be a surprise. You may not be able to see this one till the last second, but it's Dean Koontz, Daw, Early Daw, number 12. And it is a Darkness in My Soul. 2 versions. You pick. Which one do you want? All right, so I think that's all the winner's choice ones. So I just thought that'd be fun to try. Whoever wins gets to choose what they like. Here's some good ones too. And I'll try, like I said, to put up a little, if I can find prices on some of these. Gene Wolfe, hardcover, Calday of the Long Sun. And the hardcovers start at $5, the other books start at $3. So some of these books are 70, 80 bucks, maybe even more. I tried to find ones that were over 20 or so at least. So Gene Wolfe, Calday of the Long Sun, has a little sticker, something right here. Someone put a sticker on it at some point and then peeled it off. It was like that when I found it, unfortunately. Let's go with a couple of these guys. Ursula Le Guin, The Beginning Place. I think I had a couple of these on eBay at one point. Another copy of Primeval. So I just know this is one that usually people want. Has Clive Barker, Stephen King, a bunch of other people. So great compilation collection. A Ace Double Jack Vance. So Dragon Masters and the 5 gold bands, and it's in pretty decent shape. Clifford Simak, The City, or City, excuse me, not The City. And this one I actually have another copy of, but that one I'm keeping. So some of the ones I know which cover I want to keep, and those ones are not going to be winner's choice. Also, The Fire Clown, Michael Moorcock. I have never seen this book other than I saw it on, I think Matt at Bookpilled had this one on the Sci-Fi place for a long time. That's the only time I've ever seen this book. I don't think he ever got to reading it, but I think he kept it. I've never seen this anywhere else. It happens to be it's another cover of a different book. Let me grab the other one. So this Fire Clown is the same book as this, The Winds of Limbo. And I like both of these, but I figured somebody might want this one because it's kind of not one that I've ever seen other than that one time, like I was saying. So that one's up on there. This one's not, sorry. That one's staying with me. We have Joanna Russ, Picnic on Paradise. And I think Heroine Bob at Bob's Books just reviewed this one. And I think Matt at Bookpilled might have reviewed this one recently too. I'm not sure, but those are on there. Daw, Disciples of Cthulhu. This is Daw number 213. Great cover. That one's going to be up on there, or it is up on there already. I Am Legend, Richard Matheson. Fantastic book. Highly, highly recommend. If the only thing you know about I Am Legend or have seen is the Will Smith movie, this is completely different. Not completely, but it's very different from the Will Smith edition, Will Smith movie, and it's very enjoyable. Richard Matheson is one of my favorite authors. This is like the 4th or 5th book that I've read by him this year, I think. And this is one of the tops up there with Stir of Echoes. And so highly recommend that. Not one you come across very often. Hard to find, especially in the wild. Clockwork Orange, Anthony Burgess. Also a rare one that you don't find out in the wild very often. It's a Ballantine. I have not read this one yet, but very famous movie adaptation of it. Strugatsky Brothers, Boris and Arkady Strugatsky, The Final Circle of Paradise, with the just fantastic cover. This is Daw number 218. Also one that has a pretty good amount of value to it and is pretty rare. That one is going to be on there. It's already on there. All these are already on there. You can go find them right now. If you go to Whatnot, search Vintage Viking. There's going to be a login code in the description or in the comments, where if you click it, you get like $10 off or you sign up using that. Sorry, not if you click it. If you sign up using that login code and you're new to Whatnot, you get $10 off your first order. Solaris, Stanislaw Lem. Not one you see very often either. This one is Berkeley science fiction. Probably the rarest one in here. Stanislaw Lem, The Invincible. Very, very hard to find. In pretty decent shape. There's some tape up here, but tape down here, but all in all, it's not too bad. So there's some of those. I put together a couple bundles. So this is parts of the Michael Moorcock's The Chronicles of Corum series. This is number 5, number 4, number 3, and all these are in the same cover series. So good little bundle deal for that. Dahlgren by Samuel Delany. Not one you come across too often either. Kind of a sought after one. One I've only found this one twice. Or no, sorry. I found this one twice. One other time and this time. But I also originally heard about this from Matt at Book Build again. Got a copy from him, read that a while ago. It was an enjoyable book. The creator of Halo 2, I think, no, 3, whatever, cited that the first book in this series, because this is part of a loosely put together trilogy, was, I think it was Starhammer, something like that, was the inspiration for the Flood in Halo. And so this is the third part or second part of the trilogy, but it is kind of like, they're all kind of standalone, but they sort of tie together. So fun read, slow at the beginning, but picks up and gets pretty intense. So that one's on there. Michael Moorcock again. These are Del Fantasy. Sorry, not Del Rey Fantasy. These covers are way harder to find. There are other versions of this that came out later, but these ones are way harder to find. I think this one's not even available on eBay as far as I can tell. If I remember correctly, it's been a minute since I looked these up. And things change quite often on eBay. But I put the two together in a bundle because they're part of the same series. And this is the Castle Brass series, right? Yeah, Chronicles of Castle Brass. I think there's only 3 in that series, so you're just missing the first one. If you find that one, pretty cool. This is 2 and 3. Peter Saxon, Curse of Rathaw. This one's a little more common out of this series of these books, but still not as common to find. Like in the wild, you don't see these very often. In the wild, like I'm a national freaking geographer or something. National Geographic filmographer, bookographer, bookfinder, Nat Geo. This one I just sold another part of this series for like $45 on eBay a couple days ago. So that one I think is probably like $15-$20 somewhere in there. The Accursed. This is a Playboy paperbacks. Has some creasing on the spine. I have this copy already for myself. I kept the one that had a worse broken spine. And so this is the better copy that I have. Passing it along to you if you're interested. This is by G.S. Burdick. This is around the Paperbacks from Hell era. Rod Serling's Devil and Demons. I am not a big demonic, actually I'm not at all a demonic reader. So in any way, shape, or form, I guess you'd say. This is horror, and this is a short story collection, but this kind of stuff is not, doesn't interest me. So, but it does interest a lot of people, and I know this is not a one you find every day. Same with this. Satan Whispers, Clarissa Ross. Semi-rare one to find. This one's also a rare one, but I put these two together because they're from the same author, and they're both they're in the kind of the same category, the same vein, if you will. David St. John, The Sorcerers, and The Mongol Mask. Atomic Sex and a deadly game of overlove as Peter Ward, CIA super stud, swings into torrid action. Wow. Murder and witchcraft, fast-moving novel, exciting fare, said bestsellers. So anyway, these go together. Same author. Both of them, I think, probably $15-20 each on eBay, if I remember right. If I can, I'll put out the stuff right here so you can see, because my memory isn't always the greatest. Super awesome copy. Sins of the Flesh. The reason this is awesome is because of the peekaboo cover. Coined by my daughter. Peekaboo covers, if you don't know, I think these are called die cut or step cut or something like that. Really the technical term, but we call them peekaboo covers. That is one of the best freaking peekaboo covers. Look at that. That's awesome. It is separating a little bit right here in that corner, but not it's not coming away from the spine too much here. There's just a little bit of a gap right there. I have a copy of this also. It is a Tor horror, so this one is available for you. Baal by Robert McCammon. It does have the raised print here, the embossed. The newer prints look exactly the same. All this is embossed on the front here. The newer ones look the same, but they're not embossed. So this is an older copy. James Blish, Day After Judgment. This is one of the rare Avon covers. There's this one and Black Easter. Those two are very hard to find in the Avon. I had this one up on eBay for $50 or somewhere around there, and I pulled it off to put it on the Whatnot show for you. I don't know why I do this sometimes, but I don't know. I just think it's fun, and I like sharing stuff. House on the Borderlands. This is in the vein of H.P. Lovecraft. It says here, authentic goose flesh from H.P. Lovecraft, written by W.H. Hodgson. Good shape. This is Manor Books, so not a company I hear of very often when it comes to that. Two more in the semi-occult category here. So, A Fate Book of the Occult, Beyond the Strange, and The Strange and the Unknown. So these two are bundled together because they're basically the same versions. House on Haunted Hill, Shirley Jackson. Just read this recently. Was okay. This is the movie tie-in one, which is a little more rare as far as I can tell. Book was all right. I know this is some people's favorite book, and this is other people's like least favorite book. So it's kind of a dividing thing. So it depends on the person, whether you will love this or just kind of think it's okay. Personally, if I was going to recommend one, I'd recommend Hell House over this. I thought Hell House was better written, more enjoyable, but I'm really selling it. You want it. House on Haunted Hill, or The Haunting of Hill House, sorry. Death Tour. Okay, I just started this night before last, and it's actually really enjoyable and extremely easy to read, like well written in the sense of like, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's easy to read. You're just like breezing through it. Like it's comfortable to read. It's not all full of stuff where I'm like scratching my head trying to remember what they said and figuring it out. Paperback from Hell. It is on the front cover of Paperbacks from Hell. So if you're after those, that one's good. I have my own copy and I'm reading it currently. Probably by the time this comes out, I'll be done with it. And I can tell you more about it during the Whatnot show. So, also fairly rare to find in the wild is Thomas Disch stuff. I absolutely love Thomas Disch. This is the Panther version of Camp Concentration. I have my own copy. It is on my bedside table to read next after Death Tour. And so I will be reading this one shortly. This is supposedly very good. And everything I've read from Dish has been phenomenal so far. So looking forward to this. Unfortunately, Dish, I forget when, but he took his own life. And sadly, and had some, I guess, some issues that he was wrestling with. But cranked out quite a few awesome books before then. If you ever come across The Brave Little Toaster, an original by Thomas Dish, pick it up. There's one listed on eBay right now for $10,000. I don't think you'll get that much for it, but it's valuable, is the point. Ursula Le Guin, Panther science fiction. This is City of Illusions. That cover is really cool. And that looks very familiar to me. The cover. I mean, it is, if it says, I don't see it. Someone may know right off the bat just by looking at it, because it looks super familiar who the illustrator is, but that is a nice one. Children, cover your eyes. Hide your loved ones. Michael Moorcock, The Final Program. If you can't tell, Moorcock definitely loves boobs. So, Moorcock's World of Fantasex. I'll leave it at that. Day of the Triffids, John Wyndham. I just finished reading this recently too. It was very enjoyable. A little different than what I was expecting, but it was a neat take on a kind of an overrun Earth type thing. I see a Philip K. Dick right there that I'm going to put on here later, just so you know. But it was really enjoyable. If you haven't read it, it's one of the classics that you should I highly recommend that you should read, because it was just an enjoyable book, fun. There was decent pacing through it, but there were some unique twists that he did with some certain things that I thought were, even still to this day, I haven't kind of heard being reused too much. So, which is kind of cool. Another rare one, Norstralia, Cordwainer Smith, hard to find. Hardcover. This is the reprinted edition of Norstralia. Also first heard about this from Bookpilled, so I'll tag him in this, and you can check out all his videos and support him, because most of this stuff I've seen or heard or watched be reviewed by Matt, so make sure you go send him some love, and make sure you are watching his videos, so it helps with the YouTube algorithm for him. But and you'll get a absolute butt ton of information there. A butt ton. A full buttload of information. It's a technical term. It's medical. It's really. But Norstralia, supposed to be phenomenal. I have. Oh. My copy's on my bedside table. That one's going to be read. I have like five in order of what I want to read next. So that one's over there. Whatever the other ones, I'm reading Death Tour. Whatever the other one I said I was going to read next. Mask of Cthulhu. This is a written by August Derleth. Stories based on the concepts of H.P. Lovecraft. So there is Mr. Lovecraft on the back, and it's utilizing his original stories and taking them to different places. That's the idea. Don't know if this one's particularly super rare, but Summer of Fear by Carolyn Haynes. It's had a cool cover to it. It is a pinnacle, and that one is going to be on there as well, or already is. Daughters of the Devil by Charles Lefebvre. Chilling accounts of 14 women who use their terrifying powers of darkness and evil to inflict pain and pleasure. This is an ace. And this one, I'll try and put up the pricing on that one. I think it had some value to it. Keep saying that. So did this one. 13 Horrors of Halloween. Edited by, or an introduction by Asimov. So Anthony Bashir, Ray Bradbury are in there. A couple other people. A few other people. 13 other people probably. Demon Seed. This one, I think this is a movie tie-in. Yeah. I have not seen this one before, and I have a lot of Dean Koontz books. Fairly rare to me, at least. Ramsey Campbell Cold Print has an awesome embossed cover on there. Tor Horror. Good shape. Vintage horror type stuff. 87. Frank Herbert, The White Plague hardcover. I have a copy of this as well. I don't remember how much this goes for. It's not one that I find very often. So I found this one other time, and I'd like to keep it for myself to read. Frank Herbert, obviously mostly known for doing Dune books. And then a first edition copy of one of my favorite books from Stephen King, Pet Sematary. If you've never read this, if you don't read Stephen King, I mean, do you even read? I mean, really? I love Stephen King. Stephen King's writing is phenomenal. I don't care if he's been around so long and everybody and their grandma reads him and he's the most popular. There's a reason he's the most popular. He's a freaking awesome writer. So not every book is a banger, but a lot of them are. Pet Sematary, phenomenal. I'm going through the Dark South. I speak good. I'm going through the Dark Tower series right now, and the first one was a little slow. The second one is just phenomenal so far. But Pet Sematary, Cujo's good. There's just so many great books by King. So anyway, first edition, Pet Sematary, highly, highly recommend. If you've never read it, read it. Put it under your belt. Watch the old movie. Maybe watch the movie first. This one I did listen to the audiobook on by Michael C. Hall, and he did a phenomenal job. It was so good. That one I listened to on my trip to Idaho a while ago, and it was like, made it an awesome drive. So, one second, I'm going to grab another one. Be right back. All right, I just found 3 more books. I have a shelf of books up there that are for upcoming shows that I just put aside that I know probably most likely people are going to want. And sometimes there's more valuable ones, sometimes there's less valuable ones, or rarer ones, or what have you. Values dependent on what someone places on it. Something may be very valuable to you, but not to somebody else. So value is made by the person who's, putting the value on it. So anyway, so when I say that, I mean they're valuable because they're rare or hard to find, or I think they're valuable. Sometimes they have monetary value. Sometimes they have value because whatever, you don't care. All right. So I found 3 more. These are not on there yet, but I will add them on there today. Roger Zelazny, Dream Master. I just finished reading this one recently as well. And this one was a fun read. It was different. It was a unique idea that I think was really, I don't know. It was just not really something I've heard of. You've probably watched some low budget B movie science fiction that kind of takes this idea, but it's a unique idea of where the guy kind of controls dreams and helps people live out things through their dreams. But he also meets this blind woman who he's trying to help her learn to see things because she's blind, she's not able to, but in her dreams she can. So he's slowly introducing her to things so that she's not just overwhelmed by everything all at once, because she's blind and has never experienced this stuff before. And he's walking her through it, and then so she can help other people so she can be a dream master too, and things like that. Really neat idea. So good book, worth reading. That's the second Zelazny I've read. This Immortal was the other one, and I prefer this one over This Immortal personally. So that one will be on there later. Philip K. Dick, Solar Lottery. I have not read this one. This looks like a UK edition or something. Not sure. The cover artist. See if we can see it here. You're finding out. Man, I could talk so good today. Sound like Biden. Arrow edition, Ace Books. I don't see a illustrator. Someone may know the illustrator on that one. Where the heck are you getting books for that price around here? I don't know, but I need to find wherever that's coming from. And lastly, this one will be on there. There may be more I add later. I'm also looking at my horror books right there that I think I have some duplicates of. But this one is Case of Conscience. Is part of the 4-part series. I forget the name of the series that it's tied to. But as you probably know, Day After Judgment is the third one in that series. Third or fourth? I forget which order it is. But anyways, this is part of that. This is the first one in that. Then Dr. Mirabilis, whatever. Day After Judgment, and then Black Easter. And they're all kind of loosely tied together. This one is a good read. It did bog down a little bit in the middle for me, but it picked back up and was enjoyable. And then I also, I want to know more. So, good read. This is a great cover, I think. And that is what's coming up on the next Whatnot show. I highly recommend that you be there. Pick up some of these books. Help a brother out. Show some love. And I do this kind of stuff because 1, I enjoy reselling. 2, I also enjoy books. 3, I put those two together and I can pass stuff along to you. I can keep some. I can, find awesome copies, things like that. I can enjoy the thrill of the hunt out in the wild. And so, yeah. Love to see you there. Let me know if there's anything else you're looking for that you want me to add. Any other rarities. Don't even think about that one right there. Nope. Not a chance. Not a chance that's going on. I saw somebody sell that the other day on Whatnot, and it was went for like 60 or 70 bucks. And that's pretty fair price, because I think that bad boy is close to 100 on eBay. So that's pretty good. And that's what you're looking for. So catch you guys later. My August wrap up of what books I read during the month of August will be up here shortly as well. And love for you to check it out. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I think subscribe ratio is like 50-50. 50% of people that watch aren't subscribed. So it'd be awesome if you did. I'd like to hit a 500 here pretty soon. And I think we're at like 460 or something like that. So pretty darn close. So be awesome to get to 500 here, and I appreciate you guys. See you at the Whatnot show.